Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to the Monogatari series. It is the first episode of Hanamonogatari, and you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction, just go down into my descriptions and you will find a link. Just replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots and enjoy the reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear out my thoughts about this first episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, that was interesting, to say the least. We got some informations, we got some characters in who are interesting. I mean, just in this picture we have Ougi again. So we will see what exactly is it all about here. It seems as though it is mainly about Suruga, about her monkey arm, and as it seems about Sir Devil, which is an old acquaintance of hers, an old, I wouldn't say friend, arch enemy is very fitting. So let's see where we are going. The whole episode was clearly a setup for more to come. So that was very clear to me. I guess it is about the missing arm, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if, however she did it, what is her name, Numachi? Ruka, let's just say Ruka, was able to withdraw the powers from the arm, transfer it to herself, maybe something like that. But that's wild theory. However, it would be fitting to this touching moment, because why would you touch someone like that and at this position as well? The episode, however, started with, if you can't be a cure, be a poison. And although the mother of Suruga said that, I asked myself if this is maybe more the thing for Ruka instead. So she is kind of a bit of poisonous. She isn't doing negative stuff, but she's really relinquishing. No, that's not correct. She's enjoying the letters and calls of misery from other people, which in general isn't a nice thing if you enjoy stuff like that. We have a bit about Baru. So I'm not sure. It was in the beginning of the episode. There was something mentioned about her name, Kambaruto or Gaento. So I'm still not completely sure, but maybe there's a relationship that we have between her and Gaen, who is in here and now is a male, or isn't he she? Because she was clearly female before, or it looked alike. So that's a weird thing. The fact that Gaen is always so very darkly dressed and has those dark eyes and very pale skin makes him or her stand out very much in this series, where everyone except this person is more neither colorful. I mean, you can see just in this picture, this series has a lot of colors, not shining strong colors, but more a little bit washed out. But every of the actors dresses in living colors, so like a little pink, a purple, blues, and so on and so forth. Same here, except for this one, black as the night. I find it interesting to see again an episode, and I guess a whole arc, from the view of another person, of a specific person. I ask myself if maybe, as it was in the arcs before, that this personal viewpoint makes things unsure, questionable. I mean, when we had Aragi, everything was very, very much from his viewpoint and being sometimes very sexualized. When we had it from the viewpoint of Kaiki, as we had the last episodes, it was pointed out very often from people that what we know from him doesn't have to be true. It is very unsure how much of it is true. So we will see if something like this is happening for this viewpoint here from Kambaru Suruga. So, I wouldn't say she has a sad life, but she has a life where she really is majorly focused on making sure that her arm, the stuff that happened in the past, isn't making any more problems. So she's not, although she's able to live a normal life, she is spending a lot of time and energy on that to tape her arm to the wall, about checking the newspapers if there were crimes in the last night where she thinks that might have been her, and stuff like that. Partially sad. I can understand the reasons, but it is partially sad. It only works this way because she's living with her grandparents. Otherwise, that wouldn't be working. I mean, who wouldn't realize that your kid is taping its own arm to the wall during night? That's a weird thing. So that's that. Aragi and Sanjigahara are gone because they made their exams, so I guess they are to university or something like that. It feels a lot like they're not even in town anymore. And yeah, and then we had the intro with this other girl, which we know now is Ruka. I mean, in this series, it seems a lot like they are meant to be kind of enemies. She even talks from her as her arch nemesis from the past. But the intro, although there were some moments when they clashed with each other, looked a lot more like they were spending a lot of time. And I asked myself if maybe, just maybe, this will evolve in some kind of a love story. Enemies becoming lovers. Why not? So we will see. Maybe this is happening. Maybe it's not. However, what I have to ask myself is about Ougi. He calls her senpai, so he's looking up to her. At least he acts as though. But again, as we had in the past, Ougi is feeding informations to people and then letting these people do stuff. And I always ask myself, for what? Why? What is his, let's just say his in this case, reason for it, his very own motivation for it? Because we had it in the past where he fed informations to Nadeko and to whoever the person was that killed Kaiki, and now we have him feeding informations to Kambaru Suruga, where I can only guess that he wants her to clash with her old enemy for whatever reason. So Devil solves problems, okay. I mean, there are those options to reach Sir Devil. She did chose the direct confrontation. I like the fact that the 11s out of 10 is doing it, while the other ones are using the first methods, and each 10th instead just let it be. She gave those two other persons who really had problems to the police or people alike that were trained to really help. So you cannot say she's doing negative here. She's not actively doing something. Although, and that is the thing, passively, she spurs the hope that someone will handle the problem and then does nothing. So it's kind of a lie what she's doing. I can see she's not, in her opinion, not making it worse. The question is if the others are kind of relating on Sir Devil will solve it, and then Sir Devil doesn't solve it. It is kind of negative. However, as she said, most of the problems solve themselves by time. Which is true. I mean, yes, you can kind of ignore problems until they are gone, or they are not so important to you anymore. On the other hand, there are some kinds of problems, if you ignore them, they get worse. So I'm not 100% on her side here. The thing that makes it very negative is the fact that she takes delight in those miseries of others, and that's something that for me feels negative, although she does not feel majorly negative right now. There are some interesting coincidences when it comes to her, Sir Devil, and Suruga, so they have a past that is very much alike, both from basketball. They have both taped, bandaged parts of their body. So Suruga had the arm, and Ruka has the leg. I think it was the left leg as well. So left leg, left arm it is. And for sure, the immediate question is, does she or does she not have something similar? In the meaning of, does she have an aberration somehow interacting with her? I guess we will learn. She said that the delight in misery, the things that she does, helps her with her leg. And I was aware of that. So I asked myself, if there's an aberration, maybe it is feeding on misery. Why not? I mean, things like this to happen, like a bad being taking energy, draining energy from the miseries of others, and by doing so, this kind of powers her leg, powers this being which is part of her leg. Just wildly guessing. I like the split colors on her. I mentioned it during the reaction. So we have, I think it was kind of black and red, orange style. And she has this split effect for her legs and everything. So there is like a duality in her. I ask myself if this is just, her color code, and if it's just the way she dresses, or if it may be pointing to her being two things already. Just an option. So I got that. Well, in the end of the talk, we had multiple things. We had the Fire Sisters before in. We had another classmate of hers in a talk. Although I'm not sure if she will be important later on. But in the end, we had a short message to Aragi, I guess, about some girl just fondled my boob. And I'm in. I mean, it has to be him. Sure, it could be Senjugahara, but the reaction of I'm in very much sounds like Aragi. However, she mentioned it, and I think this is an important thing. As I said, I guess this fondling, this touch, which was for quite an amount of time, kind of absorbed this over. Speculating further on my theory of an aberration which feeds on negative stuff, on misery. Her misery, Ruga's misery, is the arm. So what if it not only feeds, but it is really able to remove the misery, really takes it out. But which is in general, you could say, a good thing. But I guess by doing so, it feeds itself, it gets stronger, and possibly more of a problem in the future. So I just see this option: either this misery was kind of taken and used for something else, or Ruka just copied the effect to herself. We will see when we see her the next time, and we will see what her arm is like. Yeah. I think this is how far we have gone at this moment. Multiple layers. So I'm very sure we will meet Ruka again. Because I'm pretty sure Suruga will try to find out what happened with her arm. Because she is someone who's taking the responsibility she has very serious. So by taping the arm and everything in the past. So I guess she will not be like, hey, it's gone, happy, I'm free, all is fine. She will be possibly like, okay, where is it? It's not just going. This is dangerous. What if the aberration is a full version now and there's a full demon monkey running around and killing people, or stuff like that. So she will try to track it back what happened, which will very likely lead her to Ruka again. That's one side of this story, with everything that is connected. Then there's Ougi, where I'm still waiting for the real reasons, and waiting for how are the relationships going there. Are they related? I'm not sure. And yeah, then there's Araragi and the Fire Sisters. Fire Sisters were mentioned for a second, so maybe we will see them. Araragi, after I'm in, it's very likely we will have at least a short pop-up in this arc somewhere, hopefully. So, that's it for this time. I hope you liked the speculations. I let my imagination run wild today. And I will see you for the next episode. And until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.